I think a lot of us have trauma that we've gone through, tragedies, horrible things that have happened to us. And I really want a community that provides support for each other through this platform. So that's really my goal here in starting this channel. For anybody who's listening that is interested in doing that, I would love to hear from you. And if you would like to share your story with me in a public manner, um, feel free to reach out to me and we can figure out if me talking about that story on here is something that you would want, because I'm absolutely open to that idea and would really appreciate it, and I would really appreciate being able to give you a voice for your story. For me, I don't have one big story where I felt my life was in danger. However, I do have a lot of smaller stories that I'd be happy to go through and tell about my life. I grew up in the Philippines and have had a lot of experiences, a lot of wild experiences growing up over there. So, yeah, just let me know if you would like to hear one of my stories. Um, Maybe I can make a video with a collection of stories. I'll share one of those stories with you now. The biggest one that comes to mind was the house that we were living in at the time was neighboring a abandoned warehouse of sorts. Um, it's hard to describe because it was just so odd. The architecture of it, it was kind of like a long building, and then there was this giant metal square that you could climb up on. Well, probably shouldn't climb up on, but we did. And I remember going in there a lot. There were a lot of polished coconut shells. It seemed like my best guess currently as to what it was is some kind of gift shop stock was just stored in there. I don't recall really seeing anybody come in and out of there, so either the store went out of business or they were just storing it for the time being. I'm not sure. Um, at the time, I was about 5, 6, 7, something like that. And me and my brother, who's 3 years older than me, so he was 8, 9, 10, something like that at the time, we would go inside of the building and just walk around because it was so eerie. It was just always quiet and covered in spider webs, and there was beads everywhere, and it was just really strange, really strange. So we climbed in there and we would just walk around as much as we could without being consumed by all these coconuts because they were feet tall. At least that's how it felt at the time. So one wrong move, you could slide inside all of the coconuts and get buried, really, especially for my size. So we would walk around in there, we would climb around in there, as kids do, causing trouble, exploring places we shouldn't go. Well, there was this one time that my brother, for Christmas, I believe, maybe it was his birthday, but some occasion, he was gifted a spy kit. In the spy kit, there was a voice recorder. You could You could hold down the record button and release it once you were done, and you could play back the sounds that it picked up on. Well, at the time, me and my brother really enjoyed ghost hunting shows. You can see where this is going. So we took that voice recorder one day and we went inside of that warehouse. We climbed around, found a good spot, and we hit the record button. We played it back, and I swear it said, "Get out." I don't know what your opinion on Ghost is. I don't know my opinion fully, honestly. So take it as you will. We once we heard that, we left pretty quickly. I don't think we went back inside after that. A weird experience for sure, but honestly, the strangest thing was just what was that? What was that thing anyways? Why was it there? So, I don't know. Now it's just in my history. It's just in my memories. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it all. I'll try and find a picture of the warehouse thing to include in this because it is so hard to describe without a picture because I've never seen anything like this before. Otherwise, I'll try and generate a picture that looks somewhat similar. I'll try my best to put some kind of image in here so that you can get some kind of idea of what this looks like to picture better. So anyways, that's one of my stories. If you found it interesting, I'd be happy to talk about some other stories, some other memories I have growing up. They're not, that's the main paranormal kind of one that I remember. Um, Other ones I can just talk about different experiences I've had. Um, hey guys, so this week I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to just do a little intro for myself. I realize I just jumped straight into stories without really capturing what my intent is, my goals, that kind of thing. So I just want to make a short video about just kind of a little bit about me. So I have had a strong interest in just hearing people's stories. Um, I really enjoy listening to people and hearing their viewpoint on things. And while I don't have much of an audience at this moment, I felt this was kind of the good entryway into filming things that I'm interested in. So until I get more of an audience, I just figured I would find public stories of survival and kind of post about those and talk about those instead. But my ideal goal is that I would get stories from you all to share on this platform because I do really enjoy giving people a voice, giving people the space to tell me about their experiences and to learn about what people have been through. Weird human interaction stories and different conspiracies, different gossip things that I've heard. So let me know your thoughts, and I really appreciate you sticking around for this to hear a bit of my story. Again, would love to hear from you all. Feel free to comment or message me, email me. I'll include an email in the description if you'd like to email me a story you have for me to read through. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great day and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.